You come in.
No, I shouldn't be the cleanup. I should be there at the beginning, but sometimes I am. I have done a lot of cleanup jobs. Yes, I have. But when you have to, they pay well. And I enjoy it. I have some methods that I use that help me quickly get up to speed, get the developers up to speed, documentation up to speed, so I can really come in like a superhero and save the day. So I enjoy it.
Okay, so I got a question.
Sure.
Does the BA put together the documentation?
Yeah, so I'm headed that way.
Okay.
So this is what a project team looks like if you haven't seen a visual. And basically the project team is just a collaborative of resources that are put together to help meet the customer's goal. On the project team, you'll have the sponsor, which is usually the person that initiates the project, and they have the money and they have the requirements on what they want. You also find a project manager. This is the person that helps plan out the task and decide the scope. You have business users. These are the users that will, if it's an application, these are the people that will actually engage with the application. So we'll need to get feedback from them. So we usually call in what we call SMEs, experts in that particular area to come in and join the project. You also have other stakeholders. So there are people that may be involved for downstream processes that may be affected. Say, for example, if you are changing an order fulfill process and down the line, you have to do invoicing. So financing has to get involved. So if there's any impact there, usually those stakeholders come into the project. Quality, as with anything, you must test very well the product that you're going to deliver to ensure that it is working as expected and that it meets the customer requirements. And then our favorite people, developers, these are the people that build our solutions. They take all of our documentation and develop the solutions. And in the middle is the BA, and the BA is in coordination with all of these participants in the project. They're gathering the requirements. They're helping the project manager with scope. They're interacting with the users for requirements. They're informing the other stakeholders that need to be brought in. They're working closely with the quality team and sometimes building the quality tests to ensure that the deliverables meet the expectations, and they're working closely with the developers to make sure they staying on track and they're developing what expected. And you can see in the middle, this is what the business analysts typically try to do. Does anybody get this little picture? So
yeah,
it's a little corny, but
yeah.
blue and green, blue and yellow equals green, and the circle is smaller. So basically, that's what a BA comes in and do. They come in and improve the process, and sometimes it includes reducing waste or combining different roles, and then also shrinking the business process by time, by money, what have you.
Okay, I got some questions with the diagram. Can we go back?
Let's go back.
Yes, please. All right, so my UAT tester, my UAT people, that would be the, I'm gonna ask, matter of fact, let me ask Tatiana, who do you think the UAT people would be in this diagram?
UAT, what did you say UAT was? Sorry.
You forgot what UAT means? Does anybody remember what UAT means?
User acceptance testing.
Yep, user acceptance testing. Who on this diagram would be the user acceptance testers?
The business user.
Is that the only one?
And the other stakeholders.
Quality.
The other stakeholders, yeah. Quality is our QA people. So if you look at our board, QA should get to it before it gets to UAT.
And what we call that is system integration testing.
System integration testing?
Yes. So we have three forms of testing. You have unit testing, in which you're testing individual features. So say, for example, I want the button to be blue. When I click the button, I want the screen to change. Those are two different features. So unit testing is testing each one of those features one by one, okay?
And you can do unit testing programming.
The system,
You can do unit testing programmingly. Like you can actually set up you can do unit testing in the code. Like that could be.
yeah, you do it. A lot of people do it right away, but that's unit testing. They're quickly testing the feature. Then you have what we call system testing, which is system integration testing. So where all those features interact. So when I click the button, when I click the button, it turns blue, changes the screen, it says hi to the user. That's testing that whole flow at one time to make sure that the flow is going correctly. And the system integration testing usually happens to prepare the system for UAT testing. So by the time the UAT come in and test, they're supposed to be using the system as if they were working within their role. Good. Can we go to next, or you have more questions?
All right, I do have more questions.
Okay.
BAs work with project managers. How? Like, how is that? How do they interact? Is it more of a how would your relationship be with a project manager?
Okay, so BAs often take on the project management role because they hold the majority of the tasks. A project manager comes in and they understand tasks at a high level, and they try to plan out those tasks throughout the duration of the project. When a BA comes in and gets the specific details and requirements, those tasks go from 1, 2, 3 to expand. And then we have to take those expanded tasks and work with the project manager in order to get those tasks complete. So we have to review our tasks, and between the project manager and the BA, we have to review the timeline and make sure that we can complete what we need to complete in the time that we need. And if we have any type of constraints, together we need to modify the scope of what we're going to provide the customer, depending on where we're at. And then also the BA tends to also coordinate with all the rest of the team members and trying to make sure that their tasks are completed, that they're following up on what they should do. They're working directly with the developers to get things done. So often a BA will also play the same role as a project manager, because the BA has the breadth of the details of the project.
Okay, so there is some overlapping, and sometimes you don't have a project manager, you just have a really good BA that's doing
Yes.
both jobs.
Yep.
Now,
but you can't have a project manager. You can't have you can't have a project manager and not have a BA.
Unless you have really good software lead, right? Then
the software lead would have to work in a BA capacity. Yeah. Usually software leads are technical. So that's where BA comes in. We have the technical knowledge, but we also have great experience working with customers. And believe me, technical language and customer language are two different languages. And so we are the glue, the translators. We come in and communicate. They can say, I want this button green. And I tell the developers, write this function in this way, select green. So we take what they want, we translate them into functional pseudocode logic so that they can develop the solution.